today I want to talk about something else. I want to set aside the talk about money and finances and decisions because something deeper has been sitting in my heart. Something every one of us feels in the quiet hours. Have you ever stopped for a moment and wondered how fast it all goes? One day you're young, full of dreams, thinking you've got forever. And then suddenly you look back and forever has already been passing by, moment by moment, without you even noticing. And you find yourself standing in front of the mirror, trying to recognize the woman looking back at you. When I think back, I remember being a little girl, running barefoot in the rain, chasing fireflies in the summer air, or playing with my siblings and laughing until my stomach hurt. Do you remember yours? Back then, life felt endless. Every birthday felt like the most important milestone in the world. We didn't know it at the time, but those were the days when time moved the slowest. We had no idea how precious those mornings were. Mom calling us for breakfast, Dad teaching us how to ride a bike. The innocence of believing people always stay. Childhood was the first chapter in the book of life, and it ended before we realized it was even a chapter. Because as you grow, the years start to fold into each other. One by one, they stack, and suddenly, you're here. Then adolescence crept in. Suddenly we care about how we looked, what others thought of us, or whether we fit in. Our hearts felt everything so deeply. Our first crush, our first heartbreak, the sting of rejection, the thrill of belonging. We wanted to grow up so badly. We thought freedom lived in age. We thought happiness lived in independence. We didn't understand that with each passing year, the innocence of childhood was quietly slipping away. I remember in my 20s, I thought life was about chasing dreams, about proving myself, about love stories that would sweep me off my feet, and careers that would make me feel powerful. And yet, behind the laughter, there were tears. Behind the confidence, there was so much doubt. I cared too much about what people thought. I poured my energy into being liked, into being enough, into being someone people could be proud of. You know, if I could whisper to that younger version of me now, I would tell her, you do not have to prove anything. You are already enough. Then came the 30s, a decade that felt like a test. For many of us, it's a season of building families, careers, home, identities. For me, it was the season where I felt so powerful. It was also the season where I learned that sometimes love doesn't last. Sometimes the fairy tale crumbles. And sometimes the plans and dreams that you thought you've always wanted just starts to feel different. Then you lose that version of you didn't know you'd outgrow. And here I am, 44. You'd think by now you'd feel settled, like life would finally make sense. But the truth is, this age feels like standing in between two worlds. Behind me is the girl I used to be, all her mistakes, all her dreams. And ahead of me is the woman I'm still becoming, even now. You start asking different questions. Did I make the right choices? Did I waste too much time? What will I leave behind? At 44, you start to see time differently. It's not infinite anymore. You count your years not by birthdays, but by how fast another Christmas comes, how quickly children grow, how suddenly your parents age. You begin to measure life in moments. You stop caring so much about what others think, and you start cherishing the small things. The sound of rain, a simple dinner with family, the comfort of a quiet evening, the laugh that makes your stomach ache, the quiet morning with coffee when the world feels still, the touch of someone's hand that makes you feel safe. And then you realize that these little things were always the point. At this age, you carry scars. Some visible, but most are not. The heartbreaks, the betrayals, the nights where you cried alone, not knowing if you could keep going. But you also carry healing, wisdom. You've stitched yourself back together enough times to know that broken doesn't mean you're ruined. It means you're real. It means you're alive. I used to resent my scars, especially the most recent ones. But now I see them as proof that I have lived, proof that I have loved, I have survived. What I know now at 44 is this: life is not about waiting for the big moment. It's about noticing the quiet, ordinary ones before they slip away. It's not about comparing your path to others. It's about learning to walk yours with honesty and courage. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. And it's about forgiveness. Forgiving others, yes, but especially forgiving yourself for the choices you made when you didn't know better, for the years you spent trying to be someone else, for the time you wasted doubting your own worth. Life is a passage. You don't stay in one place. You move through seasons: childhood, youth, motherhood, adulthood, womanhood, reinvention. And with each passage, you leave behind pieces of who you were, but you also gather wisdom for the journey ahead. At 44, I've learned that the passage of life isn't about clinging to what was or fearing what's next. It's about standing here in this moment saying, "This is me. This is my story. This is my passage." If you're listening to this and you're younger than me, I want to tell you, slow down. Don't rush the seasons. Don't spend so much time chasing the next chapter that you forget to live the one you are in. You are here today. And this moment, right now, is the only one you truly own. Because one day, this too will be a memory. And if you are older, keep teaching us. Keep showing us that life doesn't end after 40, or at 50, or even 70. That there are still so many firsts waiting for us. Because life isn't about the passage of time. It's about the passage of the soul. It's about how deeply we live. And here I am, 44 years in, still passing through, still learning, still becoming. And maybe that's the whole point.
Do it